Hello everyone, Gunter Trigger here, and welcome back to another episode of Gunter Talks. No, seriously. Alright, so it is currently almost 7:30 in the morning here in Texas, and this is right before the episode is about to upload, because I've been playing way too many game sessions of Genshin Impact, and it has kind of been taking over my life for a little bit. But we're not here to talk about Genshin Impact. That can, I guess, be a different episode, maybe, since I have a decent amount of experience with it. But yeah. So, before I go off to work in the morning, why don't I talk about my my acting career? Not career, but my acting history. Because this is mainly me talking about my want of becoming a voice actor one day, and of all my stuff, like, kind of not really preparing for it. I mean, it is kind of preparing for it, but it's mostly just me unconsciously knowing of just, sorry if I'm like slightly low energy. Again, it is still 7:30 in the morning. I literally have my work clothes on, ready to go as soon as this podcast is finished recording. But anyway, like I said before, acting. I had a very big interest in voice acting when I was a small kid. Just didn't know really what voice acting was, but I would always basically mimic and reenact scenes from movies that I loved. Some that were like Disney-esque, well, straight up Disney, like Lion King and all that stuff, as well as movies that I weren't supposed to see, like Terminator or or stuff like that. But yeah. Other than that, it was just me unconsciously preparing me for becoming a voice actor. And other than that, it was just it didn't really click on until when I was in high school. In high school, I was borrowing a friend of mine's Bleach movie DVD, and I don't really remember which movie it was, because I think it was either the second or third one. It may have been the first one. I don't remember. But yeah, it's one of those things where the shonen anime have tons of movies to keep up with the 600 plus episode runtime. Well, Bleach is an exception because it died pretty early. But yeah, so I borrowed the DVD, watched the movie. I remember liking it, and usually me in high school, or even younger me, would, after finish watching the movie, I would go immediately into the special features and see how things were made, because I was that one kid that wanted to do that. I wanted to be that one kid to straight up know how things were made, because after seeing that certain it's going to be a different poll. I think it happened when I was watching VHSs on Bambi and the Jungle Book, and these special VHS tapes had a thing at the end of them where you can watch special featured films, moments on how they made certain parts of the film, and that kind of blew my mind as a kid. Like, in Bambi especially, uh, that after you uh, after you watch the movie and you see that certain scenes how they were made, like the beginning shot. If you've seen Bambi, in the beginning shot of the forest where you just see the trees just moving by as the camera just moves, pans to the right. I was about to say left. It pans to the right as you goes through like different parts of the forest. Uh, they actually did that with glass, multiple and multiple layers of glass, like at least 3 or 4. No, I think it was 5, where they just paint these realistic trees in certain depths to, and the special feature you can see them adjusting each pane of glass to where it would like line up to look like of like a forest, and it was like so mind blowing to see. And as a kid, I didn't really know about voice acting. I did remember Phil Harris, who was the voice actor for uh, Baloo, the bear in Jungle Book. Well, and also I remember the name Tom O'Malley in Aristocats. And that always stuck out with me because I just saw Phil Harris, and I actually saw him when he was older in that special VHS featurette in the Jungle Book, and he didn't sound. He sounded a lot older. You can kind of tell that it was him, but it was still different, and my young brain didn't process that was his voice at the time. It was like, oh, it's old man. And then fast forward to me watching the special feature on the what was it? The Bleach movie, and then it came up to have the special featurette of the voice actors doing the thing, and lo and behold, you see Johnny Young Bosch come up, and he does a thing, and I'm like, yo, this dude looks familiar, and that name looks familiar. Who the heck is he? And it's been scratching the back of my mind until I looked down and my eyes pan zoomed into a VHS tape. Yes, I had still had a VH player, VCR. So I had a VCR, yeah, morning, when I was in high school. I don't know why, but pan zoom to the VHS tape of Power Rangers Turbo, the movie, and I'm like, no way. Pop that in real quick. Fast forward to like credits, and then lo and behold, Johnny Young Bosch popped up, and I'm like, no way. No way is this guy voice the main character that I liked. And that kind of blew my mind. And then I found out about recording voices off of my back then we had these things called if any kids are listening to this, probably not. There was these things called iPods that was very popular. They were popping up, and I didn't have those. I did mess with a couple of them, but I never actually owned one. I did get something very similar, like a off-brand type that was made mainly for like Windows and something, and I used that, and I saw they had a voice record feature, so I recorded my own voice, and I went in and listened back to it, and yeah, just like everyone who listens to their voice the first time, it is so different, and it was so weird. It blew my mind a second time. It blew my mind multiple times. That knowing uh, just how different your voice is in comparison to what you think it is. And it's just like, what is this world? And yeah. Um, so with that being said, uh, yeah, it took. I even though it was weird, it was still interesting to me, and I wanted to see how that particular voice I heard in my head fit with a character or something at a very young age. So that was the kind of a weird thing about me. Just like, it was weird, but then it was like made me more curious at the start, and then after a while, after doing that a couple of times, I eventually got used to hearing my own voice, and that's basically the same for everyone, especially if you're into stuff like this, as far as like recording voice for either YouTube or animation or just anything, or Twitch, whatever. Um, yeah, it's a thing that it's going to take a while to get used to, and it's definitely going to be very uncomfortable at the start. But the more and more you do it, the more comfortable you're going to get, and that's basically with anyone. I mean, not well, yeah, anyone and anything. I meant to say, um, but it's more so with the voice, because not many people are going to expect the voice from your ears out of your mouth coming to from your ears out of a digital recording. So yeah. All right. So fast forward that many years. Well, not many years. At least 4 or 5 years. I was still finding ways to try to record my voice, practicing different types of voices, practicing range, um, and all that type of stuff. And uh, I did um, I did notice that I did have a different type of range. I can do a different, like, high pitched voice to a low voice, which you're hearing probably right now because it's very early in the morning. Um, uh, yeah, this is my low voice. All right, stop that. All right. um, but yeah, so after getting used to that and learning that I had different ranges, I try to see where I can adjust and stuff like that. Because beforehand, um, I knew that I can do different types of ranges of my voice, but at the time, I didn't know how to make that into like a character, or like some type of way to make it more interesting or engaging and stuff like that. And that's where acting comes in. So fast forward to 2016. It's when I was in a community college. It was around this last year of the community college, and I was studying automotive technology at the time. And uh, I pretty much did all the main courses I need. I just only need 2 classes, but I definitely needed to fill in that little gap of like that one missing spot to like make it like a decent part-time course. Excuse me. So I went and I was like, you know what? Might as well see how, since it's offered here, might as well see what this acting thing is all about. And I took intro to theater, and I did acting 1 in the same year. And I met this awesome instructor named Hardy, Vincent Hardy. He is very known here in San Antonio, and he's still a pretty good actor and instructor. He's not instructing at the community college I was in anymore. They have another instructor who is still good and is friends with Hardy and knows about him. Um, and what else? Uh, oh, he was he kind of helped me in like figuring out ways to develop a character and figure out ways to bring my talents to life. So um, after I've done a bit of that, he was showing. He put up posters of people asking them if asking students if they want to do a play, and I went and like, okay, I'll try it, and went and auditioned, and I managed to get a part uh, as Muhammad for the Tale of the Allergist's Wife, which if you haven't heard of it, go and check it out. It's a really fun, interesting play. Um, I'm pretty sure you guys will probably like it. Um, and yeah, that was my first ever role, and I've dealt with trying to figure out how to do accents, and even though I was supposed to be from Middle Eastern heritage, uh, I somehow ended up sounding way more African. um, but yeah, it still worked out. People knew that I was not native of New York, so that I guess that came across through most viewers that came by and watched it. And after that, it skyrocketed from there. Because eventually I grew more comfortable with that, as well as doing musicals. Um, I was always like so weird out. I was like, oh wait, they have musicals here too, and I went and did that. And my first musical that I ever did was actually a big one. It was In the Heights. You guys mostly know about In the Heights. If you're not, then you probably heard its younger brother, Hamilton. So, yeah, I played the Piragua guy in the Heights, and once I did that, that actually grew my vocal instrument even more because turns out I can sing decently as well. It just wasn't able to be brought out because I didn't learn the different breathing techniques. I didn't learn the different ways to like help project your voice, which is a big thing in theater acting. Not so much like this type of acting, like voice acting. Sometimes it's not super projected because you have just a microphone, either very up close to your face or just a decent amount away from your voice to where yelling might not be the best, unless it is a certain way of yelling slash projecting. Um, but yeah, did In the Heights, and after that, I did Comedy of Errors, which they made it into a type of 80s hip hop style, which was a very interesting type of play, and that let me learn how to do different pratfalls, of me just tucking and rolling slash or just doing all that other type of stuff. Oh, my mind's breaking. Can't have too much dead space. Sorry. Um, okay. Uh, After that, I did Alice in Wonderland, which is a they made it into a rock opera type, which is awesome. After that, what else? What else? Oh, All My Sons. All My Sons is got to be one of my favorite um, uh, theater plays that I've ever done. I played Jim Bayless, Dr. Jim Bayless, one of the neighbors, and it was a really fun time. If you haven't checked out All My Sons, definitely check it out. There's actually a black and white movie of it, I believe, on YouTube. If not, you can probably search that as well. Next up after that, I did come on, it was right. Oh, Bubbling Brown Sugar. Now, if you guys don't know that, again, check it out. Especially their soundtrack. Because I believe most of the soundtrack is on Spotify or on YouTube. So definitely go and check out that. It's a very fun jazz, 50s style jazz musical, and it's really nice. It's really fun. And the last performance I've ever done recently was a new play that just recently came out. It was called Number 6, and it has to be probably one of my better performances ever. Namely, not for like bragging rights, but mainly just for the fact that it was a character that I really never truly play as. Like, I'm not much of an angry guy. I don't have grudges. I don't have like weird political angles or stuff like that. But I played a 24-year-old who is just very angry at the police system of Cincinnati during the riots of 2001, 2002 or something. It's around that era where riots happened in Cincinnati. And yeah, it was a very intense one. It was probably one of my most intense characters I've ever played, and that was fun. And hopefully, after this pandemic situation is taken care of for the most part, hopefully I can be able to go back and do some plays again. Now, with that being said, it's again a short type of podcast episode because I need to go to work in 10 minutes. So basically what I wanted to say after that is, for those of you who are having some type of dream that you want to do, or some type of a thing you want to pursue in life, whether it be acting or something along those lines, like either something small like Twitch or YouTube, go for it and see how far you can get, and also ask for help if you need it, because there are people out there that can help you to help grow those hidden talents that you might have. So also bear in mind that it's not going to happen overnight. It's going to take a lot of time and dedication to, if you really are wanting to pursue it, do it. And you'll be very surprised at the results if you keep at it. Yeah, that's basically all I have to say. Alright, so I might just need to head out and get to work. But thank you guys so much for checking this episode out, even though it was somewhat low energy, and I do apologize for that. And also, I'm recording this on Audacity, so hopefully the audio is a lot better. I'm trying different audio tactics as per my want to make things sound good. And yeah, tune in hopefully next Friday for the next episode. And also, if you haven't checked out the other episodes that I've done here on this podcasty type thing that I'm doing. So yeah, thank you guys so much for listening, and hope to see you guys next time. Take care, guys.